Right, hey guys, we are almost at the finish line. It is day nine. Day nine. Tomorrow is the last day, and I think what a wonderful way, going into the Easter weekend to be able to finish this program. I feel like it's actually really like it's just perfect. It's all come at the right time. Honestly, the
Yeah,
success that you guys are having is just beyond exciting. And I know we were just talking about this, but just hearing all your stories, all your wins, all your successes. And if you haven't sponsored yet, but you're just feeling more confident, that was the aim of this, so that you can get that vibe of like, oh, do you know what? It isn't that scary. I just need to get into new habits and build it as a lifestyle. So if you have sponsored somebody, this is going to be really exciting for you because we're going to talk about onboarding. And I think onboarding, I feel like it's something that everybody struggles with at every level of the business, whether you're brand new in or whether you've been here for 20 years. I think because the business changes so much so quickly and over so much time, um, how you onboard somebody and how you bring them into Sensi, I think changes. For me, I have tried every type of onboarding system I think there is. I mean, literally, I have tried lists, pen and paper, digital, I've looked for apps, and I never really feel like I get it right. And I think that's going to be, I want this to be your biggest takeaway, really, is the fact that every single person that you onboard in this business, it doesn't matter if you did it the same every single time, you will not get the same result. You're never going to get the same result. And I think that's really, really important for you to take away because so many people say, but I did all the things exactly the same. And that person hit shooting star and that person did nothing. And that did nothing can literally derail some people
yeah.
from the Scentsy business. And it can make people never want to sponsor somebody ever again. And they're like, I just don't want to do it because that person did nothing. But here's the bit that people probably don't talk about very much. Every single one of us have had teammates that have signed up that have done
So many.
every single one. I can look down my reports and be like, well, she signed up and literally sold about not well one wax bar and then didn't want to do it, and she signed up and then ghosted me for like a whole year until she came
Yep.
back as a customer. It happens, and unfortunately, they're just part of your journey. They're just part of your story, and you learn from that, and it's hard like to grow the thick skin, but every single person that you onboard, you learn something from it, and if you can take that away, use this as your personal development part of the Sensi business. This is the bit that will change you as a person. I think this is the bit that's changed me the most as a person, like how I bring people in. So that's the first thing about onboarding. Second thing I just want to say about onboarding is everybody deserves to be onboarded in some way, shape, or form. There are probably going to be some of you that are like, do you know what? I wasn't onboarded at all. I very much just turned up, started doing my business, and Whitney will give you more insight into that. But honestly, there everybody deserves to have a level of onboarding. What that level looks like will be very dependent on the person. Like I said at the beginning, it'll be very dependent on who you're working with. I didn't need onboarding, so Laura didn't have to do a lot for me because I literally just came in, started looking around the workstation, did my checklist. I was very proactive. And if you can find people like that, then you are going to be winning because they're going to be the people that you don't need to do a lot for. However, there are going to be some people that are going to need hand holding through things, and they are going to need a little bit more spoon feeding and a little bit more like one action at a time. So, what would I say? Right, I've tried lots of different systems, honestly. I've tried many. The thing that probably works the most for me right now in the season of the business that we're in, I have gone back to real basics with when people join. I've tried, as I said, many things. Recorded YouTube, lots of YouTube videos that were like a 10-day, very similar to this. It's on my YouTube. You can go and watch it. It's like a 10-day welcome to Sensi boot camp, and you can literally go through each day. And each day I'm like, by the way, the videos on there are like from about 7 years ago. I look really young and fresh, and I'm like, oh my God, look at me then. But I also was exhausted because I was still teaching. And I was like, hi guys, welcome to week one. And I remember sitting in my lounge and everybody was in bed. Because it was during COVID, I'm sure, when I recorded these. And everybody was in bed. And I remember getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to record them because it was the only time that my house would be quiet enough to actually get up and record something. And they have stuck on my YouTube for a very long time and they're still there. Okay, you can literally go and have a little nosy through them. Um, but now I have learned there's a few things that I do. Number one, I very much try and get the person working before they join. And that is a confidence thing for me and a confidence booster for them. I want everybody to start with some orders before they start. And that for me is like that's been the biggest game changer with people hitting shooting star. And I know we've talked about this on this call. And when Orville talked about that first 72 hours, I agree with that. I think that first 72 hours is like crucial in someone's business. And if they start with orders, I think you feel more confident. You're like, my team has got an active order already to put on day one. You feel good about yourself, and so do them. So that's something to think about. Like, I think sometimes we get so excited that somebody said they want to join. We want to sign them up like this, and we're like, we can't not sign them up now because we might lose them. So then we rush to sign them up, and actually sometimes they're not quite ready. They need to almost put the wheels in motion. I feel like that people should put the wheels in motion before they actually sign up. It will give you a confidence booster on them. And then where I've gone back to basics right now is I literally work them through each little thing one by one. First thing, we're going to set up a party link. That's the first thing we do. And then I welcome them to the groups. That's normally on the first day. Second thing I do is Laura and I created an onboarding website. I'll show you it. It's not a website, it's a landing page. I will share my screen and share it with you in just a minute, which has some links to some videos. And I normally send that over to people when they first start. But then I literally do not talk about anything else but shooting star. So the first 15 days, that's all we're working on. We are working on what activities are going to get you your shooting star, whether it's booking a party, whether it's getting a bag out, whether it's making that list of people. And it's just those small activities. And I don't even mention certified, sensational star, anything like that until we get to that 15th day. I don't bombard them. I don't give them all that information because when you sense is sick all over people, and we can't help it sometimes because we're excited, right? And then what happens is they're like, this is too much. Because Sensi also send quite a lot of emails now. So there's quite a lot of information that they're getting in that first time. And I know there's a real battle, head and heart, where it's like, oh, if I just leave them to it, they're going to think, well, this is rubbish. I'm being left on my own. And it's trying to find that balance. And that balance is really, really tough. Really, really tough. And all you can do, I check in daily, but it's very loose check-ins. And we're just working on that shooting star. Once we get to shooting star, we will start working on the sensational start levels, getting certified. I don't tell it, just do not give them that information anymore. And that for me is one bite at a time, very, very, very little things that we do. So let me show you this quickly. Sorry, Laura, if I've probably like some of the things that I know that you'll talk about, but I know you
It's
do
okay. It's all right.
things. Right, don't judge my desktop, people, because there's a lot going on here and the video side of it. I'm just going to log into Canva quickly and show you. So Laura and I made this together because we realized that we do a lot of things together, and actually it saved us both time to do it together. So if you can find somebody to do something like this with, or your SSD might already have something like this, bear with me. I've got a lot on here. I use my Canva a lot. I like my Canva. I should have opened it up before I come on, but I'm not that organized. Here
It's
it is.
there, Lace, bottom left.
That one? Welcome to Sensi. No, there.
Yeah.
I have my thing on it. Okay, so this is what it looks like, right? This is really easy to make. Really easy. It is just one page, and I send them this as a website. So this is a website, okay? It's just one page website. And I will share the link to this because you don't even need to make your own. If you like it, you can use mine and Laura's. Okay. We are more than happy for you to use ours. So this is going to help you guys. You can have this. You don't even need to create your own. But if you want to create your own, do. Okay. And then what we've done is we have linked different things here. So welcome and get your account set up. Oh, this is probably going to be really cringy because it's probably going to go to, oh, hold on. I need to actually do this as let's do it as a preview. So this is what it looks like when they open it. They click on here.
Oh, okay.
Hello, there's me. A huge welcome to Sensi, guys. And oh my God, I'm so excited. That's me. And they get a little video, basically. Here I am. Welcome to Sensi. And they have got a little video. And these are the basic things that we go through. Okay. Welcome. Set your socials up. Here's some links that you're going to need. The links will go to like, actually don't know where this goes. Let me check. Can't remember where this goes.
Hey guys, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe how many times I've tried to.
No, I can't remember exactly what this it was the links to all the things that they need and how to message party links, that is, sorry, party
Yeah.
links and messaging, how to launch your business. Let's get my borrow bag out and going. Place your first order, talks them through like how to do it, ask people to join, and then here is should be a Google document which has got some message templates that they can use and also links to Laura and I both have we use WhatsApp community. I don't know in America if you guys have got WhatsApp, it's brilliant to use because it's free. And we have all of our team in a WhatsApp community. And I have two groups linked to mine, a graphics and images group. And then I have like a smaller team chat. And in that community, we can put announcements in there which gives information like your workstation has just updated, like there's a link, we can put a link to this training for example, and it's a great place where all of our team are. They can't all chat, but we can put information in, so definitely something to look at if you've got a team. But you're very welcome to use this, and it literally is just like a one-stop shop for everything. It's everything that you need all in one place, and at the minute that works. Send out, sorry guys, I've got like 50,000 emails. Let me get rid of that. Don't need that. And let me come back to where we are because I can't remember. How do I stop screen sharing? Is it down the bottom? Oh, here we go. Stop share. There we are. But you're very welcome to use this if it helps. Okay. If it helps. You might look at that and be like, I don't want to send that to people. I don't know if I want to do that, but you've got to find something that works for you. And that's probably my biggest tip is find something that works for you. You might be somebody that's like, I need to send them everything all in one go because that works. If that works for you, that works for you. But if not, you're very welcome to use ours. Anyway, that's me done.
Amazing. I'll just kind of like follow on from that because obviously a lot of the things that Lisa said, like we said, we do work a lot together. But we made that because we asked basically for feedback from, so basically just to explain, I sponsored Lisa. Obviously, I'm a superstar director. Lisa actually hit SSD before me, and then I became an SSD. So we are part of the same group, but obviously we work very independently on a lot of things with our own groups. But with training, obviously we do come together because actually we realise like why are we reinventing like why are we making life harder for ourselves? A lot of the things. So that's just to explain to you guys how we work. So the WhatsApp community, I have my own WhatsApp community similar to what Lisa does. But we asked basically what was the biggest thing that our teams needed help with, and it was always sponsoring. And we were like sponsoring and then onboarding, and like we were like how can we literally make it simple for people? So people were a little bit scared to sponsor because they didn't know what to do with people once they had sponsors. You know, the amount of times that we'd heard, oh, I don't know enough people, I don't know enough about the business, or I don't know what I'm doing, or, you know, I work full time. So again, like we said, we created that because then, you know, they can obviously independently start to build their own stuff as well, which we encourage you all to do. It doesn't mean that you don't start to build relationships with your own teamies. But it means they have that there as a resource. As Lisa's just said, you can use it, and change it to your own videos if you want to. But it's just about making life simple. And it's like everything in Sensi. Keep it super simple. Do not overwhelm people. And exactly like Whitney's just said, you need to make it duplicatable because I'll say as well, like when I came in, I mean, we found the message I'd sent to Lisa originally about joining, which is very much like, oh, what's Sensi? It's like candles. Here you go, have a look. Like that was pretty much it. And I probably didn't onboard Lisa in a very good way, if I'm honest, because I was still relatively new, didn't really know what I was doing. And we learned together, like you said, like a lot of you guys have said in the comments, is like through YouTube and all this stuff. So there's no right or wrong way, but you learn over time, over the years as time passes. And absolutely do not overwhelm people would be my biggest tip. Do not, just to again reiterate what Lisa said, don't, when somebody comes in, be like, we always used to say when somebody joined, like there'd be things in our Facebook SSD groups, and it'd be like you'd see not even an exaggeration about 50 notifications where somebody had been tagged in this, tagged in this, tagged in this, tagged in this, and we're like, oh my God, stop doing that to people because they're literally going to run the other way. Oh my God, chastity! I literally Lisa will tell you this is literally one of my favourite sayings. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. Exactly, Jessie Lee. Because they don't need to know all that stuff. They need to have passion and they need to do the things and they need to talk about Sensi and they can learn about the rest as they go. Yes, I love that saying. Because all you're going to do, I like to use the analogy of like, if you basically, if you just took somebody and like dropped them into New York or dropped them into London and just went, right, this is this, this is this, this is it, they're literally going to go like, what the hell? Like, they're not going to know what they're doing. They're going to be spinning in circles. If you just take their hand and like lead them slowly, they're going to find their way. So I know we love all the things Scentsy and we, know it's all amazing, but they don't need to know all that. Do not overwhelm people and send them 50,000 messages on day one, or don't give them too much. Don't stick up Scentsy on them, like Lisa just said. So I think probably my biggest tips. I'm going to talk about quickly as well what I do with reinstatements. Exactly that. Some people are a visual learner. Some people, like, I know that I need to actually do something myself before, like, so if you just talk to me, like, it's always a bit of a running joke when we go to our CrossFit classes and the coach has got the workout up on the board and they're talking at me and my face is saying, please try and listen to them. But honestly, my face is telling a different story and it's not sinking in until somebody actually demonstrates what we need to do. And that is how I learn, by actually doing something. But everybody learns in different ways. Some people are going to want to know the ins and outs of, and I don't know if that phrase is relevant in America, but I don't know, I'll say it anyway. The ins and outs of a duck's bum, but I don't know. Some people like to learn that way. And when you're drip feeding them information, and then in the email, for example, it says, here's this on your workstation. If they are that type of person, they can then go off themselves and learn it. If that is how they're going to learn, because we don't know that about them at that point. And actually, what will happen is some teams you'll come in, and this is literally like music to your ears when this happens, is you do, like we said, we do the drip feeding, and then they come back and they go, oh my God, I've just done this, and I've read this, and I've learned about this, and actually I want to go for this. And you're like, oh my God, you actually want to do this. But not everybody's going to be that way. So that is just to, again, just reiterate what they said is do not take it personally, okay? Do not take it personally if you bring someone in and they literally disappear. Do not take it personally if these are all genuine things that have happened. Do not take it personally if somebody gets the kit and then they block you. Do not take it personally if, you've been conversing with somebody and then on day 4 they disappear off the face of the planet. It happens. If you looked down my frontline report, the amount of people that I've sponsored and the amount of people, like we said yesterday, that are actually working, it's a really small percentage. So people, I've had team members say it in the past, I know we all have, that they say like, oh, well, I've sponsored 2 people, they didn't do anything, I'm not going to bother with sponsoring, I'm not very good at it. If we all did that, we wouldn't have a business. And that is a skill. I'm not suggesting that you're just going to be able to like take that on the chin straight away. Like, we're all human, we've got emotions, but when you can separate those emotions and understand that if you've brought everybody in the same way and you've given them the same tools, the same resources, the same onboarding process, if they then choose not to do anything with it, that's not on you. If you know you've done your part, you have to meet them where they are. So that is just, again, just to reiterate that, is that do not take it personally. What do I do when people join? Very, very similar to Lisa. So I, again, have a 10-day boot camp. I, again, recorded mine. My nearly 7-year-old was a newborn, and all my videos are actually in the dark in my conservatory in my old house. Because I was up giving him his night feed and I was like, well, I'm up anyway. So it was like all mine were recorded at like 1 o'clock in the morning because I was wide awake. But again, they're all, and I did actually watch one the other day and thought, oh my God, I'm so young and fresh and sprightly all those years ago. But anyway, my point is this. They're still on there. They've still got information. Obviously, things will have evolved over the years, but they are still a resource. So I do still send them that. But what I do is I always welcome people in with a WhatsApp. I always send them, like I said the other day, I always send them the Scentsy story and just say, like, this is a little bit of information about the company that you've partnered with. I have got a welcome email that I send out to them, which I'll happily share in here, which you're more than welcome, obviously more than welcome to edit and put your own links in. All that's in that welcome email, it just says like, welcome to Scentsy. This is the first step. There is a little bit of Laura woo woo in the beginning because I like a bit of sprinkle and a bit of glitter, but there's the links to our groups. There's a short video showing them how to set up a party link. But what we've now done, we literally, what Lisa's just shown you, that landing page, we probably recorded that, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, something like that. That's very, very new. So I send them a welcome email and I send them that. And that's it for now. And I just leave them and I say, like, I don't want to overwhelm you. There's a lot of information there for you to read. You're also going to get information from Scentsy. I will check in with you tomorrow, but you can contact me about anything, and leave that with them. because you don't want to overwhelm them. And then again, very similar to Lise, just on a day by day basis. And you'll start to realize after a few days, like what this relationship is going to be like. Maybe after a week, I'll ask them if they'd like to book in a Zoom call. If they're local, I will ask them if they'd like to meet up. So you'll just gauge it like per team member, but don't just bring someone in and leave them because you are worried that you don't know or you don't have the answers. Because nobody's got all the answers. We certainly don't have all the answers, even after all these years. But as long as coming back again, and that is like what we said before, like Sensi is a beautiful jigsaw. Coming back to what we kind of talked about yesterday, treat them like a person, treat them like a human being, treat them how you would want to be treated and feel supported and welcomed. And as long as they know they've got someone, they've got like basically you've got them, and like just make them realize and make them feel like they are capable. And they are going to have fears and they are going to have insecurities because they've never done this before. It's like the first time you get into a car and you know when you have your first driving lesson and you think, oh my God, how am I ever going to do this? Now, 9 years later, we all do this, without thinking. But that they're not, you have to remember how you felt when you first started. So, and I know everybody's different and I know everybody's wired differently, but it's just knowing that they've got that support and they've got somebody they can go to that's going to mean the world to them. And then just meet them where they are basically as you go. So I think that's it. I'm done.
Awesome. It's so funny because a lot of the things that I do are very similar, but also different in my own way. So the first thing I will say about onboarding is, and if you don't take anything else from me, I want you to take this, that you are not responsible for your new teammate's success. You are not responsible. And if by any reason that's stopping you from inviting people to do this business, I want you to remember that. You're not responsible if they're successful or not. This is you're an independent Sensi consultant. So when they come in, this is their business. What they do with it is up to them. But as someone's sponsor, it is your responsibility to help them by giving them the tools that they need to be successful. Now, Sensi has come a long way in the last 8 to 9 years with onboarding and information in the workstation, but like they already said, it can be very overwhelming. So I tell them first thing when they come in, I'm not your boss. I'm not going to tell you that you need to work a certain amount of time. I'm not going to tell you you need to clock in. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do. But if you need help, I'm more of a mentor. So I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you for you to find the answers on your own. Okay. Because this is your business. So I like to say that I match energy in Cincy and outside of Cincy, but, we match energy. They don't want to work. That's fine. They don't, you move on, right? Expectations, don't have any. And that's hard because we're human, but we cannot have expectations of someone before they're coming in or while they're coming in because most of the time it's going to be wrong anyways. But you set the tone, right? So they want to come in and get paid off your purchases. Great. I'm not going to expect anything more. When someone asks for details, I am going to be there to answer, even if they're just there for to get paid back on their purchases. Now, am I going to give them an immediate answer? No, I'm going to help them find the answer on their own. But I always tell them this business can be anything you want it to be. Whether they are coming in to get paid back on their purchases or they want to build a big business or they're not sure or whatever their reason is, I tell them before they even sign up that we're going to do a launch party. And I don't really put that up for negotiation. I think I've had maybe 1 or 2 people out of all the people that I've sponsored not do a launch party, and that's because they ghosted me, even though I told them before we were going to do it. And here is why. And I explained this to them. I understand that you don't want to be a consultant, but for you to learn how to work your backstation, your workstation, whatever we call it, doing a party is the best way for you to get the best rewards as a consultant. So even if you're doing this to just get paid back on your purchases, them learning how to make a party link, put orders in and all that is going to give them more rewards and they're going to get rewards and commission, right? So for them to even hold the launch party is going to show them how to do that. They don't have to have another party for the rest of their time, but I'm going to do a launch party for them and I'm going to have and teach them how to do that on their end. Let's see, I have my notes here. So, just like Lisa said, we talk about active and shooting star first. Those are the first two things we talk about. Um, and that's in your first 15 days. And then it's kind of like a step. So once they hit shooting star or once that those 2 weeks are up, then we move on to talk about certified. And then once we're at certified, then we talk about sensational start. Because if they come in and you're like, you've got shooting star, active, sensational start, 1, 2, 3. This is what you get. That's going to be overwhelming to them, right? So really taking it step by step. We don't need to talk about sensational start one if they can't even get active, right? So we're going to teach them step by step on how to do that. Um, like I said, I always do a launch party. I always encourage people to learn by doing. The first things first checklist, I still call it that. It's not that anymore. It's the essential consultant, what is it? Essential consultant
It's like
success
a
path.
pathway, yeah. But I was thinking
Yes,
yeah.
success path. Same thing. It's the same thing. So that is part of what they do. Now, when very similar to what the girls already said, when I have someone new come on, I have a new consultant launch that I email them. Every single person that I get an email for that has joined either my front line or my downline get this in an email, okay? Because a lot of people in the downline, maybe it's their first teaming, maybe it's not, but I want them to have this. This is also pinned to the top of my team page. If it's up to them, it's up to them whether they do this or not. Now, the things that are on here, and I will share this, are very simple. They're not hard things. Announce on social media you're a consultant. I even give them graphics that they can use to do that. Why? Because they need to announce their friends and family. And this is like again, step by step what they need to do. Make sure that you're in the group. I'm sending them an invite in the group in the email as well, and I can share those emails too. They're all in a Google Doc, and I just copy and paste for every single person that comes in, whether they're my frontline, like I said, frontline, downline, reinstate, all of the options are there. Schedule your launch party. I have a video that shows them exactly how to set up their launch party link. Can they find how to do that in the workstation? Yes. But if they have an easy clickable link to go and find that, that's going to be a resource that they can easily find. I have for them to join my mock party for inspiration so they can see that sometimes they want to do their launch party on their own. Great. You can use this outline to do that. Complete the essential success path. It has a link right to the training on the workstation. Here I talk about learning and earning shooting star, so they can, if they want to go on their own and look at the consultant awards, they can. I don't talk about that until we're to that step. Download the Cincy Connect app. I also have a frontline focus form. It is an old form that I ask everyone to fill out so I can get to know them better. It asks questions about why they're doing this. It asks questions about their family. It asks questions about if they were to get a gift card, where would they want it? Um, just so if they do something big, I know how to connect with them. Um, Study the ladder of success. We shared that at the beginning of this program. Learn about the scent and warmer of the kit, compliance, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then I have a list of pages on Facebook and then personalize your website. This is for them to go through on their own. When they finish this, I ask that they reach out. Do you know how many people reach out after they finish this? I could probably count on my hands. My two hands is probably how many people. It's not a lot, okay? But again, that's not on me. I have given them the resource for them to be successful. It's up to them to use it. Now, a lot of people say, I'm just really overwhelmed. What should I do next? That's when we go back to the launch party because once you go to the launch party, you're setting up your link on your workstation. You're figuring out how to make a group on Facebook, and from that launch party, if they want to, I'm gonna ask them to turn that party or that group into their consultant group. So then I'm gonna give them the reins to say, okay, my launch party's done. This is now my VIP group because all the people that you're already talking to are already in there. Okay. They're going to get the reins. They're going to get to flip that over to their VIP, name it whatever they want, personalize it, all of those things. But during that launch party, they're going to learn by doing, like the girls already talked about. What do I do in this case? What do I do if someone's local to me and they want to order? What's the best way, right? All of those things are going to be teachable moments as they're going through and they're coming up dealing with those things. Okay. The other thing that I do personally is I have a checklist and I'll share this too. This is my checklist. So each person, I put their name in the column and then I have a checklist for the things that I want to make sure I go over with them. Really quick, and you can see this when I share, I have this is kind of like my accountability. We talked about we know that we onboard every single person the same. This is how I know I do that. Okay. I like checklists. That's how I thrive. So welcome. I've sent them the welcome email. I've added them to the page. I've had a welcome post, and this is just what I do for my frontline. I don't do this for my downline. Um, I put their shooting star and 70th date on my calendar, on my Scentsy calendar. So I'm going to get an alert that day to make sure that one, I know when it is, and two, that I can shout them out if they have reached those. I mailed them a cute little welcome packet. This is very small, just a welcome in the mail, personalized. Confirm that they have announced on social media. So I've told them to announce on social media, but that doesn't mean they're going to do it. But I'm gonna send them a reminder and say, hey, do you need help with your graphic? See how they're feeling, right? Um, Confirm the frontline focus form, schedule their launch party, go live with their starter kit. I'm going to encourage them to do that. Review host rewards and perpetual party reward with them. Invite to any scheduled team meetings. So when they're being added to the page, they know when our next meeting is, and then send a video on how to close a party. Everything in pink is in the first 2 weeks. After that, the other things that are on here are just common questions that I get. So how we get paid, talk about, make sure they're set up in the link. All of these things they're getting emails about, they're getting alerts about. All of this is in their workstation. This is just on my side to make sure that they know how to do it and that I've touched that. Okay. Um, Sin of the month, warmer of the month subscription, news tab, shipping charges, confirm. This is you used to be able to confirm that they did their first things first checklist. Now you just have to ask them, hey, where are you at in your essential success path? And then seeing if they have personalized their PWS and talk about the consultant store and business supplies. So again, that is my checklist on my side. They don't ever see that. The biggest thing is that you are available. And here's what I mean when I say that. When they're reaching out with questions, you're helping them learn how to find those answers. That doesn't mean that at all hours of the day you're responding right away. Okay. It's okay to let someone sit in a message for a few hours because honestly, half the time they end up finding the answer on their own. And that's what we want to build. We want to build independent business owners. We don't want them to be dependent on their sponsor. And that's why I'll say too that, and they already hit on this, no, I don't want to say no fault, but I didn't have a sponsor that gave me any type of onboarding. The reason that we're successful in this business is because we went out to look for that information. Same thing that we've talked about with trainings, and the go-getter in us made us successful. Okay. You could give someone everything they need on a platter. That doesn't mean they're going to be successful because it's not something that they want to do. The line between helpful, overwhelming, and enabling is very fine. And that's why I think if you just go to We Match Energy, if they're in your inbox, good morning, this is what I'm doing this morning, checking in with them, making sure that you have those checkpoints with your new teamie is being a leader. And honestly, if you want to lead by anything, lead by doing. Show them how you're working. Share in the page, just a simple touch point, that is leading. Okay. And so I think that a lot of people in this business, they don't feel like they can be a leader, that they can sponsor all the people because they don't know everything. You're not going to know everything. And if you do, then something ain't right because that's too much information. You don't need to know everything to be successful. So that is what I have with onboarding.
Amazing. Thank you. I just want to touch on something, something you just said, because that is so important about boundaries when you become a leader, because it is absolutely fine finding a fine line. But just think about it this way, because I've had these conversations with team members before, and they're like, "Oh my God, well, I was up till 11:30 last night answering this," and I was like, "Why? That's on you." And I mean that with love and with kindness, but that's your decision to be answering those messages. You need to, if you don't set boundaries in your business, you're just going to burn yourself out. Your job is not to be constantly like, I have a team members that say like they drive around people's houses and put their orders in for their teamies. Why? You aren't going to be able to do that when you've got like a team of 500 or a team of 5,000. Like that is never going to happen. But also, I in COVID, I did a business, like an online business course. It was nothing to do with Scentsy. It was just about running a business. And one of the things the guy said that has literally always stuck with me is that if you are constantly responding to other people's messages, you are living your life on their schedule, not on your own schedule. And it is so, so true. Not everybody's going to do this. I have no notifications on my home screen or on my Apple Watch or on anything. Obviously, I go in and check. But what I always think is if something is a real emergency in my life, my phone will ring. So my home screen's beautiful because I've got nothing there. But obviously, then when I go into my WhatsApp, that's on my schedule. When I go into my Messenger, which obviously I do regularly, but if you are constantly replying to team members, so people think they can't sponsor because they need to be on available 24/7, absolutely not. And also, you're then setting boundaries for when they sponsor and when they sponsor and when they sponsor. And I always remember Orville saying, if you have a question, leave it there for like 12 hours, 24 hours. And 9 times out of 10, when you go back to them, they've worked it out themselves. And that's absolutely, you shouldn't be available. That is not your job. Your business should always, always, always. This is something that we literally say all the time. Like when you go to your phone, to your emails, to your business always comes first. Always. Because if you don't have a strong business, your teamies have nothing to be inspired by. If you don't have a strong business, you don't have anything to share with your team. Your business should always, always come first. So don't think you can't sponsor because I don't have a spare however many hours in the day to be answering teamies' questions. Because you shouldn't have that. That's not what it's about. There you go.
Yeah, I'll add to that too that in Cincy and outside of Cincy, you teach people how to treat you, right? So
Absolutely.
as a leader, as a person, and so if you're always there and you're always responding within a minute, you're teaching them that they can use you like that. They can use you as a dictionary. Hi, buddy. So just remember that it's okay to let things sit and to not always be available. You're teaching them how to be a leader, and that's the other thing. If they think, "Oh gosh, Whitney has this organization with hundreds of people, she must always be on her phone." No. No. We are building, we're giving them the tools so they can do the same thing that we're doing, and we want them to want to do that, right?
A few people said about the notifications. Laura taught me how to do it. And I remember when she told me, first of all, she went, Leash, you need to turn your notifications off. I was like, I can't do that. I was like, oh my God. And we're looking at my screen, by the way, that had like 9,000 unread emails, 75 unread text messages. I am that person. Like if you leave my notification, if you actually see the notifications, there's a lot of red there, right? And I can honestly tell you, when I turn that all off, it was very freeing. And it's become, it's such, and then when you're actually trying to get your head stuck into doing something, you're not constantly getting like, the messenger message, like notifications going off when you're trying to be on your Sensi Connect and send your follow-up messages, for example. It literally gives you really laser focus. And also, if you didn't just see, my husband says to me, why didn't you see that message that I sent you? And it's like, didn't go into my phone, babe. Soz about that. Soz. So, there's that as well.
But it is, and when you think about it logically, just show everybody your lolly quickly. Quickly. This is what I got at the farm this morning.
Very nice.
When you think about it logically, it's that circle of control. If you are responding to all those notifications all the time, you're not in control of your own life, of your own business. You need to be in control. And it's that whole thing. So if you are feeling like that about your team, is you are allowing them, like we said, you are taught in Sensi, in any relationship in your life, people will treat you how you allow them to, or a circumstance will continue if you allow it. So you're always in control.
I will just say with all of this as well, guys, like finding the right balance with all of this takes time. And the more people you sponsor, the more you will find your feet with where sits right for you, where you give your time, where your energy's got to flow. And it's a learning curve. Like I said to you, it becomes a bit of a journey, and you're never going to get it right first time. Like you never. You literally learn every single person you bring into this business. You learn something new, like a new way to communicate with people, a new way. Oh, they're a visual learner. They like to, have things written down, and you also work out where your boundaries are. And like look, the girl said, and I think that it takes time. It's a skill. It is a skill. And I know some of you will say, "Oh, but it's not a skill that I've got." But skills are learned things. You didn't know how to ride a bike straight off. So you've got to be doing
Absolutely.
these things over and over again to get stronger at the skill and to build the layers. The layers are important. Build the onion layers, that resilience.
Totally. One of my favorite sayings is, and I will literally show you, I have it, that is my vision board, but that is, I literally have it in the middle of my home screen. If it costs you your piece, it's too expensive.
I love that. Okay, so homework for today was, don't think I've written one on here. Familiarize where yourself where things are and help them get started, but that's not very helpful for you.
Mm,
Maybe I'm going to change it on the spot. I want you to think about your own onboarding system and have a little think about all the things that we've talked about today. And what maybe you need to get something down on paper. Like I'm going to say, it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. If anyone read anything that I put on Facebook yesterday, I did a big post about how everything I do is pretty much done, not perfect. And I think that's really important. So it doesn't need to be perfect. We will share all the different things with you in the Facebook group anyway, but you pull from it what could work for you. And maybe you've already got a system in place. You might need to tweak it slightly based on some of the things that we've said. And maybe you need to change it and have that in place so that you feel 100% confident that when someone comes to you and says, "Yes, I'm joining, I've just signed up to join your team," you've got something there ready to go. And it may well be that you're just listening to this and you're like, "Do you know what? I just want to make a few tweaks. I'm going to add that in." Like I was listening to Whitney and thought, I need a checklist for me. That's something that I need, like more so than to go alongside all the things that I've got. Brilliant. So I'm thinking I'm going to tweak what I've got already. We will be doing it alongside you. And if you're not, get out and have some more conversations. Go and ask some more people. Go and have some more conversations because that's not going to hurt either. That is not going to hurt. And we will wrap up there and we go for tomorrow, our very final day. Final day. Don't worry, Whitney. We can meet on Zoom whenever you like. You tell me when. Right, guys. I hope you've all enjoyed this and we will catch up with you tomorrow.
so bye.
Bye.
Bye.